guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take you on a quick walkthrough of my veggie patch to see how it's growing. As you guys know, we're embarking on a year of only eating what we grow, what we forage, what we can barter for, and what we purchase with the funds that we make from selling our excess produce. So here we go, let's see what's growing in our garden. This patch here has been struggling a little bit. We've got a little bit of weed here, and I've had some pest issues at the back there. All my cucumbers didn't make it, so I've planted beans there instead, and they're growing up nicely. I've got some beetroot in front of it, and I've got zucchinis here, and they've been growing much slower than my other zucchinis, but I think they're starting to come up now, so that's awesome. And this is where I had all my brassicas that the cows came in and ate. And instead I've got one lone cabbage here that survived, which is awesome. I've got another zucchini that's growing slowly but well. My celery's gone to seed, but that's okay. I've planted some pumpkins in here. They haven't come up yet. And I planted some beans here, and the second round have come up. They didn't, for some reason, the first lot didn't grow, but I planted the second lot and they've all come up, so that's fantastic. And I've got my other lots growing nicely, so that's good to see. I've got some corn seeds in here, but they haven't come up yet. And through here I've got some sweet potatoes and some pumpkins, so they haven't come up. But I do have my sweet potato slips in, as you can see, starting to grow nicely. Back here is my rosella for some hibiscus tea. I've got a nice patch of Cape gooseberries, which are growing well. And these are my alpine strawberries, which I grew from seed, and they're starting to flower, which is awesome. This is my okra, and I think I'm getting little flowers here, so that's really cool to see. They're starting to grow up. I've got a heap more beetroot here, still need to harvest those. They're starting to bulk up a bit, so they're getting ready to harvest. Really happy with that. I'll be canning these to put in the pantry for winter. Got a few rogue pumpkins here, so I'll leave those. And a few lone brassicas and some more beetroot and lettuce, so that's going well. And of course, my little dahlias. I've got lots of dahlias through all my veggie patches, so I'll show you those as we go along. But these are my little border ones, so they only stay small. On this side I have more beetroot, and I've also planted some more strawberry popcorn. I think the cows did a little bit of damage. I have a few popping up, but I think they were definitely walking here, and you can see there's a few divots, so I don't know if they damaged a few. I also planted, I believe that's a Hagen rock melon, so I've got a few different melons through here as a ground cover, and then I'll plant some beans up the corn when they get bigger. And then here's another dahlia that I grew from seed, and I'm really happy with the colour of this one. It's quite pretty. And then I've got some tomatoes. I can't remember where I planted or what variety I planted where, so this is just a mix. We'll see what we get when they start to fruit. On this side at the back I've got some cucumbers. These are my pickling cucumbers. They're starting to grow and flower, so hopefully we get some fruit soon. Then some tomatillos, which are flowering prolifically, so that's really nice to see. And then here I've got a mix of capsicums and eggplants. I've got some more Cape gooseberries. I've got lots and lots of Cape gooseberries, so we should have plenty of those to dry. Some more capsicums and chilies along here. And then I've got a row of alpine strawberries. And now onto this bed. We've got heaps of beetroot again. These ones are finally starting to grow nice and tall, and they're starting to bulb up too, so still a little while away, but they're doing really well. I'm really happy with those. And then I've got more tomatoes through here that I haven't staked yet, but hopefully tomorrow. And at the back here, I've got some sunflowers and some zinnias and some more dahlias. None of the dahlias have flowered, but these zinnias have, and they're just beautiful. Look at that in this one here. So pretty. I'm so happy with those. The sunflowers are getting close to flowering. They're getting the little buds there. So looking forward to some sunflowers in here. In here I have all my staked tomatoes. Now at the back here I've got Amish paste, which is for preserving, and then I've got some beefsteak, and then I can't remember what the next variety is, but I've got some cherries right at the front, so they're doing really well. I'm really happy with this. Unfortunately this dahlia got trodden on, I think by the cows, so it broke off this big stem and it had so many buds on it, which is really sad, but it is coming back, so hopefully I'll get some more flowers from it, because it was quite a pretty yellow, very full flower. You can't really tell from that because it's, yeah, it's all sad. This one over here is really pretty too. It starts off quite dark and then it fades to this really pretty, like a dark salmon colour. I really like it. In this bed, I've got more beetroot, surprise, surprise, but I've also got some bush beans. These are ballotti beans, so I'll be drying these to preserve for winter, and they look like they're doing really well. I've got a few lone onions at the back there, and a couple of spring onions in the front. So I'm really happy with how it's going. It looks a bit messy, but it's growing well. Over here I have more tomatoes, and more tomatoes. And I've got quite a few pumpkins that are growing from when we had the chicken tractor in here, but we've buried 20 centimeters of mulch on top of it, and you wouldn't believe that they came through, but they are, and they're doing well. So I'm going to let them run, and yeah, hopefully we get some pumpkins from here. But you can see that we're starting to get flowers, which is nice. Not much fruit set, but we're starting to get the flowers. It's been a funny season, so I hope we get some fruit, because I'm hoping to preserve a ton of tomatoes this year. And we should, with all these plants. I've got over 200 plants. But yeah, it's been pretty slow, but that's okay, slow and steady. I've also got quite a bit of basil here in various stages, but these ones are looking nice and big and healthy. I'll pick some of this to go into our dinner tonight. We're having pasta and a tomato and basil sauce. Yum. Look at that basil, one of my favorite herbs. So let's go upstairs and have a look at the other veggie beds, because there is more. Here is a messy veggie patch. I'm not going to take you in there because it is a mess. But I have a little bit of corn and a few pumpkins and a few melons at the back growing. And anything we get from here will be a bonus. These are my planter boxes up at the house. So in here I've got some more alpine strawberries. I've got about 200 of these. Some beautiful billy buttons, which are a native Australian flower. Some gorgeous dahlias. Look at this one, it's beautiful. I love how the petals twist out. It's gorgeous. I've got a few more coming on, so very pretty. We've got some hops growing up there. And the other bed's much the same, with a few different varieties of dahlias, but I really like looking out at these. They're really pretty. I've got some asparagus in there too, but it's not in season at the moment, so it's just a bit ferny. Next spring we'll get some more spears from it. The rhubarb is still doing beautifully, and most of my herbs are going to seed, which is fine, but they're doing well too. There's plenty in there to use for when we need our herbs. I harvested this lot of onions today, so they'll dry and preserve well to use through the season. And this bed here is a mix of frost-sensitive plants and flowers and strawberries. So I've got some more dahlias here that I grew from seed. So this yellow one and this yellow one, much the same. And this one's really pretty. I really like it. That little red, orangey red one. Got some hollyhocks. Go around the pole. This is a tamarillo. Another hollyhock there. Got some bananas. Got my snapdragons and calendula. I've got this dahlia here which is opening up, and it looks to be a beautiful one. I can't wait to see that fully open. And I've got some lilies and some brassicas and some more beetroot and some radishes going to seed. There's also some zinnias in here. Let's have a look at these lilies. They're really, really beautiful. Let's pop in. Walk in here. These are tiger lilies, and that's just a gorgeous colour. Here's another lot of tiger lilies. This one's not very freckly, but still very pretty. I've got some more over there, and all these ones to open up. They're a mix of different lilies. They're not all tiger lilies, but really looking forward to seeing them all in flower. Some more of these apricot ones. So pretty. And these pink ones with not much freckling. Over here I've got some more cherry tomatoes. I've got some more eggplant. These ones are flowering, so I'm really happy with that. I bought these 3 are seedlings from the Diggers Club because they were reduced to clear. These 2 are doing really well, but this one, it must have got pulled out. Anyway, I noticed it was dying and I replanted it. It's come back beautifully because it lost all its colour. It's come back, so hopefully it will grow and catch up to these, because these ones are really starting to put on their flowers. I've got another dahlia here which looks to be another orangey one. It's got really pretty petals, so that should be nice. I've got a heap of basil through here. And these ones are cucumber melons. And last year they didn't grow this nicely, so I'm really happy with that. And I can see they're getting lots of female fruit here, so hopefully they get pollinated and we'll get lots of cucumber melons. Yum. I really liked them. I only got 1 fruit last year, but I really enjoyed it. So I hope that we get plenty more this year to snack on. Paul's doing some work here, weeding in between all our propagated plants for the food forest next year. Look at that weed, look how well it's growing. But in behind here, excuse all the pot plants that we're moving around, I've got a few rows of carrots, a few rows of beetroot because we haven't got enough, as you can see. I've got some corn here, and this is sweet corn, so I'm growing this with the 3 Sisters method. It's a little bit weedy. I'm fighting the weeds at the moment, but as you can see, I planted some beans. There's the bean. Point to it here. There's a bean. I'll grow up the corn. It's going to fix nitrogen for the corn because it's a heavy feeder. And then I've got melons going to be growing along the ground. It's going to act as a ground cover to keep those weeds out and keep the moisture in. So lots of melons in here. Some sunflowers at the back. Some beans at the back to grow up that mesh. Some rogue tomatoes that just grew by themselves, so I left them in. A heap more a heap more melons. And here, these are pepita melons, or pepita pumpkins. I grow those only for their seeds, and I've always wondered how they get the pepitas out of the husks, and they do it and how they do that cost efficiently. Well, they actually grow like that inside the pumpkin, and so you can eat the flesh, but it's not as nice as, say, a butternut. So I'm going to taste it and see how it goes, but I've grown these for the seeds so we can use them in salads and stuff like that. Now for these raised beds, let's walk through them. They're quite long. These tomatillos are going crazy, absolutely flowering like berserk. And we've got lots and lots of fruit. These are some little ones. There are some bigger ones somewhere. I know there's bigger ones, I just can't see them. Bigger ones. I've got this pumpkin, random pumpkin. I thought it was a rondinese, but it hasn't grown like a rondinese should. It's actually run like a pumpkin. So I assume it's some sort of pumpkin, maybe cross zucchini. We'll see what the fruit tastes like once it sets. In here, I've got some cucumbers and I'm finally getting fruit, so I'm really excited about that. I've got more cucumbers through here and they're all getting fruit too. I've got a couple of melons, some more cucumbers, some more fruit. I think that's another cucumber, a sweet potato, some more melons and some more cucumbers. I'm sure there's fruit here too, really little ones. A heap of leeks, and these are garlic chives. And then these plants, they're my overwintered capsicums and chilies. And so I just dug these out of the ground last autumn, and I planted them in spring. So I kept them in the hothouse and then I planted them out in spring. And as you can see, they are huge compared to my other ones in the other garden bed. And I'm getting lots of flowers. And I saw some fruit set earlier today. Let's see if I can find it. A little itty bitty capsicum was somewhere. And here is a little baby capsicum. So excited. I've also got a heap of basil in here. And these are some more Cape gooseberries. So I'll be drying these like raisins. What we can't eat will be dried. And they're actually called Inca berries. Here I have a heap of zucchinis. And we're getting about 5 to 10 zucchinis a day. And we are keeping up with them. We are eating them all. We use them in zoodles and fritters and slices. I want to make some brownies with them. I want to make some pickles. But I've got so many. This is a common harvest of zucchinis per day. But we're getting through them. There's one last thing I want to show you before I go today. And that's this beauty. Look at this gorgeous cactus dahlia. So pretty. Well, that's it from the garden tour, guys. I just want to say that all the plants here we've grown from seed, which is so awesome. The only things I haven't grown from seed are those 3 eggplants in that last bed that I showed you that I got on clearance. 1 punnet of tomatoes that I got from clearance, so we had 5 tomatoes in there. They are the cherry tomatoes down the bottom. And the capsicums and chilies in this bed that are really big and lush. So everything else I've grown from seed, and I started in August, and it's been very busy but very awesome to see all this beautiful food grown for not very much money, because yeah, everything was grown from seed, either safe seed or purchased. Everything's heirloom, so I purchased heirloom seeds from a couple of suppliers that are very well priced. I can get heirloom seed for $1 a packet. And yeah, I've grown this beautiful bounty. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next time on the vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.